Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, this is Josh, and here we have a game between Liquid TLO, the purple Protoss up in the top right. I do believe he was playing random though, so just happened to get Protoss for this first game against WhiteRa, the red Protoss down in the bottom left of Xel'Naga Caverns. WhiteRa, better known as WhiteRa, of course always plays Protoss. No chance that he will be Zerg or Terran ever in this series, and it is game one in a best of 5 series. It is the finals of the most recent TL Open, also known as the TSL Qualifier number 4. The winner of these finals will receive $100 and an automatic qualification spot for the much larger TSL taking place later this year. That's got a lot of money in the prize pool, so these players really want to be on top of their game to be able to get that automatic qualifier, as well as $100. You know, that ain't too shabby either. But this tournament did have over 500 entrants. The final 2 remaining players are Liquid TLO, the German random player, and WhiteRa, or WhiteRa, the Ukrainian Protoss player. WhiteRa just had a great showing at the Intel Extreme Masters European Championships. TLO was not in that tournament, but WhiteRa did actually manage to take second place against the very good Terran player Dignitas Show. WhiteRa actually has been on a tear lately. I think he's made more money than like any foreigner in the last 2 months or so. He took home about $7,500 or so in the last, I don't know, 12 days. Actually more than that. I think it was something like $4,500 or $3,500 for that second place showing at IEM Europe. He won the SC Reddit Invitational, which was over $1,000. He won the Root Warzone tournament. He won the Home Story Cup number 2. He is just all over the place, winning like mad, and TLO has not really had a major tournament win recently, but he did have a very good showing at MLG Dallas back when he was still a Zerg-only player, and has been showing some good games in these TL Opens that occur once a week, bouncing back and forth between the North American server. Oh my goodness, North American server and the European server. I just want to talk about this gas steal, but I can't even talk about where the tournament's being played. WhiteRa did steal that gas of Liquid TLO, forcing his hand a little bit. Some players actually react quite badly when their gas is stolen, and they just throw up a bunch of gateways. So hopefully WhiteRa is ready for that by the time it happens. TLO scouting around in WhiteRa's base. He's going to see the very standard Protoss build. WhiteRa loves to do that. And some things that we can expect to see out of WhiteRa in this series: Warp Prisms and perhaps even Void Rays. Back in the beta they were known as Void Raws because he used them so much. And TLO, on the other hand, is a big fan of early aggression and just a couple of creative plays here and there. Not sure what he's going to be able to come up with for Protoss, but the games that we've been watching out of TLO have seen some really nifty stuff with Zerg and Terran, so I'm wondering what he can do in this PvP. Obviously, I have to give the advantage to WhiteRa just because he plays Protoss primarily. He actually only plays Protoss, and TLO is, of course, a random player. He's been playing Zerg as a main most recently, so not sure what the extent of his Protoss practice has been. Not sure what his experience in this matchup is like, and not sure what his plans are. Stargate is coming down after only 1 gateway is dropped. That assimilator is starting right now, so TLO does not want to be too far behind despite that gas steal, dropping another pylon here just to make sure he never supply blocks himself either. Looks like gateways number 2 and 3 are coming down for WhiteRa, as well as a Twilight Council. Not sure if he's going to get Blink very quickly. Of course, that's not a terrible decision, so we'll see if WhiteRa does want to do that or not off of these 3 gateways. TLO sends a single Stalker just to see what's up, and is actually going to be able to snag that probe kill. There is a single Stalker from WhiteRa that was headed to TLO's base, but it looks like TLO just walked right past it. And now 2 Zealots and a Stalker are up in the face of WhiteRa. This could be bad, actually, as this pylon is a little bit exposed. WhiteRa does have a Stalker shooting from the low ground, another Stalker up here on the high ground. TLO Stalker does go down, so it's just 2 Zealots versus 2 Stalkers right now. If WhiteRa loses this Stalker, wow, that is just, that's something else. These Stalkers can really kite these Zealots quite well. No reason to have lost that Stalker. He could have just ran left instead of right and kept that thing alive. Now only 2 Zealots left, killing probes in the gas line. They're not even going to bother with the kiting Stalkers. 1 Zealot left alive for TLO, while these 3 Stalkers gun him down. He manages to snag another kill, and another kill. 5 kills for that Zealot before he is finally taken out by these 3 Stalkers. Anyway, Warp warp gate tech is now complete. We have Blink researching for WhiteRa. He's got 6 Stalkers already and a single probe coming up through the middle of the map, but we do have some Phoenixes out from TLO. They are going to be doing some graviton beams here, I'm sure. 2 gateways are complete. Warp gate tech is done. A third one just now finishing, and a Twilight Council of TLO's very own is warping in right now. He should actually probably get Blink as well, just to be able to keep up with his enemy here, WhiteRa. And he has arrived at TLO's front. These Stalkers and Phoenixes are going to easily kill off that first Stalker, while the next 3 are trying to deal with these Zealots. Obviously, this Zealot's going to go down, but obviously the Stalker as well is going to go down. These 2 Phoenixes out of energy for graviton beams right this moment are just going to be hanging out overhead, but TLO able to warp in just as many units as WhiteRa should be able to hold this attack as long as he actually, yes, he's chrono boosting his warp gates now with all the energy he had left. Graviton beam energy back up, so another Stalker lifted out of the fight. 5 Stalkers against 6 and 2 Phoenixes, now 4 Stalkers against 6 Stalkers. Zealots coming in as well to take some damage while these Phoenixes continue to get some energy. Nothing else coming out of the Stargate right now. Basically, it's just warp in against warp in, and both players are on 3 gates, so TLO with this slight unit advantage actually should be fine here. Blink is not researching for him out of this Twilight Council, but Stalkers can't blink when they're lifted by Phoenixes, so this is a great maneuver here from TLO, able to sort of mitigate the advantage that WhiteRa gets from being able to blink. 3 more Stalkers warping in now. Both players still just continuing to make probes. TLO is ahead by 1. Not really that much of a difference there. 4 Stalkers left for WhiteRa at this pylon. Lots of Stalkers still alive for TLO. Look at the unit count, you can just see the difference there. TLO has 10 fighting units compared to 4, and way more probes. Holy crap, 33 to 22. Did I read that wrong a second ago? TLO has a lot more workers and a larger army right now, so he even has more production capability, even though he's not upgrading anything out of this Twilight Council. It's kind of a little waste of resources, but he could grab another Phoenix out of here if he continues to get that gas. He can continue warping in Stalkers as well. Oh, what is going on over here? He's got his Phoenix hanging around just scouting. Okay, I thought I was going to miss something, but a Dark Shrine and a Forge coming up. TLO's going to fly right over it. I accidentally hit back, so we've rewound a couple of seconds, but he sees this Dark Shrine, he sees this Forge. Not going to be surprised by that when Duckload if Duckload begins warping in some Dark Templar. Is a robotics facility building anywhere? No, just a Forge. So TLO actually has a Dark Shrine of his own building right now. Holy crap, I thought that was a pylon. He's going to have some cannons available here. He's going to have a Dark Shrine of his own. He's not that far behind WhiteRa either, and TLO is getting a robotics facility to be able to make some observers way back here in the back of his base. So WhiteRa not going to be able to get any surprise there. The Phoenix saw everything. The Dark Shrine is about to complete. There are no cannons built yet, but he is starting to drop some now. WhiteRa just building more pylons in case they go down, and the Dark Shrine is finished, so yes, WhiteRa is going to warp in 2 Dark Templar extremely fast. This cannon may or may not complete. Oh, excellent force field. I didn't even see this sentry here. Going to keep those Dark Templar out. That is so perfect. Such a great move by a TLO to keep those Dark Templar out. He may want to drop another force field, and he does with another brand new sentry. These cannons are now going to complete. The Dark Templar will be exposed. One is warping in up at the top here, but this cannon is going to see it. Did he drop another cannon in the back? It doesn't matter. The Phoenix comes over and lifts it with perfect timing. TLO showing us why he is such a great player, reacting to everything so fast, getting a Dark Templar of his own. WhiteRa GG's. He knows he is beat. TLO even started to make a warp prism look like he was actually going to transition into warping Dark Templar into the back of WhiteRa's base, perhaps. He had the worker advantage, he had the unit advantage, he had the detector advantage. TLO just totally outclassed WhiteRa in his own game. That was crazy. Let's go into Game 2 now and see if he can keep it up, or if WhiteRa will fight his way back in this best-of-5 series.